Welcome to West Coast Wednesday here on Prospectors Radio with Kathleen Biffle, Rich Cooley, Scott Swiftwater Toney, Indiana Gold Hunter, Dennis Dayton, and your host, Tim Grimes. We hope you enjoy the show, and thanks again for listening.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another West Coast Wednesday here on Prospector Radio. I'm your host, Tim Grimes, and joining me, as always, I got the whole crew here, minus our West Coast connection. First off, we got Mr. Rich Cooley. What's happening, Rich?
Pretty good. How's everyone tonight?
Doing good. How you feeling, brother?
Oh, I got a cold, coughing, yakking, gagging. Other than that, I'm doing fine.
Is it like an allergy type cold thingy, or?
Chest congestion.
Ah, I think it's just from being in the
Well, yeah. Well, Sunday afternoon there, I started coughing a little bit, and then Monday when I woke up left, I was gagging a little bit, and then when I got home, it hit me.
Oh, jeez. And this is...
So I was coughing and gagging the past 2 nights.
Oh, mercy. How's your wife feeling?
She's better. Now I just hope I don't give it to her again. So
That's why I was asking, because I know she was sick for weeks.
she had it for a month.
Yeah.
And then I didn't get it, and then now I ended up getting it.
And you was taking all that stuff to prevent you from getting sick, right?
Yeah, I kept taking medicine so I didn't get sick. As soon as I stopped taking the medicine, then I got sick.
You got a turkey flu.
Yeah, you got swine flu.
Yeah, I got turkey flu.
The swine flu or something from that turkey.
Chunky gave it to me.
Chunky.
What did that
Chunky gave it to me.
What did that bird do when you guys pulled out of there? Did he sit there?
Oh, it was so sad. Oh my gosh, I almost cried. I felt so bad for it.
Was he walking alongside the truck?
Yeah, a little bit.
He just started walking in a circle, didn't know what to do.
I felt so bad.
That bird stayed with us, the whole time.
It was worse than a dog.
And the last night I was there, it camped out right outside my tent.
Did it
It
really?
sat there the whole night, right outside my tent.
Did it really?
Yeah, and then when I got up about 4 o'clock to go to the bathroom, opened up the zipper, and it poked its head right up to me. It was right there.
That thing thought it was a dog, I swear it did. I've never seen nothing like that in my life. It was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, tried to roost on my leg.
I was just wondering what the heck he did when you guys pulled out. If he'd sit there, hung his little head and pouted or what. Who was the last one to leave?
That was a weird turkey, I'll tell you.
Yes, it was strange. Well, maybe it'll wander on down the road to, and it'll be all right, hopefully.
Other than that, so far, I found some good gold, and I think I did find a picker.
Oh,
I actually did find a picker, so
congrats.
I'm still going through material slowly.
Oh, congrats, man. And I want to thank you guys, all you guys, Rich, Kathleen, Shad, Dennis, the whole crew for, changing your plans last minute and coming down there and meeting me down there because I wanted to have that little retreat for the crew to where we could talk about some things and discuss some things. So, I don't know what you guys. I know you guys had other plans, and
and it's probably one of the last weekends that all of us, will be able to get together all summer because Dennis is traveling. And,
yeah, right. And
there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
So we thought it was a good idea to be de-stress and be together.
Yeah, and that's why I say I really appreciate you guys changing your plans and doing that, coming down there, so and we got a lot of things figured out, and like you said, it's hard for us all to get together at one time and where we could just be alone and think,
no self-service,
get
nothing.
Things figured out, and we did. We got a lot.
Well, we had a bunch of topics and meetings that we that we had to
and we
get
did
out, and things come down the pipeline that we kind of talked about before that. For getting ironed out, and it's all good.
Right, and that's why I said I was glad you guys were able to all change your plans and meet me there, and and I really appreciate it. I just wanted to thank you guys, let you know how much I appreciated just doing it. Really did.
Not a problem.
Cool. All right, Rich. Well, thank you for joining us there, buddy. It was good seeing
All right,
you.
thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you, my friend. Also joining us, we got Miss Kathleen Biffle. How are you, Kathleen?
Doing great, feeling refreshed. Needed that stress-free weekend. I can't say that the rest of my week hasn't been stress-free, but it's great to be here.
All right, glad to have you here tonight. As always, it was good seeing you guys.
Yeah.
You know, hanging out, laughing.
I had so much fun, and that turkey, oh my gosh. When it first came on the scene,
Yeah.
Rich and Carrie were like, "Oh my gosh, it's a turkey!" So I tried to take a picture. I didn't want to scare it away,
Well, of course.
and I just kept, trying to sneak up to it and take a picture. Little did I know that by the end of the weekend, he was doing selfies and posing for pictures.
The thing was in so many pictures. It was like photobomb. It's like every time you turn around, it's that turkey was there. I've never.
I really did want to pick it up and hold it, but then everybody was like warning, oh, those claws, they'll tear into you.
Mm.
And I didn't want to get an open wound and get in a creek or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it was just strange because a wild bird like that, and he stayed on our heels even when we was in the creek. He'd come right down there, and he was drinking water out of your pans. He was strange. He was a strange bird.
He came down to the creek drinking water out of the gold pans, which, I was dredging, but I couldn't get out to take a picture.
He was a strange one. I hope he survives because he was pretty cool. For a turkey, he was a cool bird. But
thanks a lot for dredging up painful memories, Tim.
I'm sorry. Now you're picturing him hanging his little head when you pulled away.
Yeah, I was sad. I really was sad.
Your taillights were reflecting off of his red face, and as the tears wallered up in his eyes.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, that was a great weekend.
It was.
Always dredging is always a good thing too for the soul, and just had so much fun.
Yeah,
thank you for even suggesting something like that. It was awesome.
Welcome. You're welcome. I just thought it was due for us all. We needed it to get together and just be alone and do our thing and iron some things out, figure some things out, and like I said, I appreciate it. I know it was last minute, and
Yeah.
And I'm glad everybody was able to accommodate, change their plans, and say, not a problem, Tim. And,
well, lucky for you, we do like you, and you are our boss, right?
I appreciate that, guys. I really do. But the sad part is, when I left you guys, I know I was dirty and stinky. I got home, I had no hot water.
No.
I swear to God, my hot water tank, the burner thing went out. I'm like, are you kidding me?
You couldn't even bathe.
I had to take a cold shower, and we didn't get hot water until Tuesday because, it was Sunday, and then Monday was the holiday, so it was Tuesday for we could get parts and stuff to fix it. And I was like, oh my, this is ridiculous. Why? It's like, if it could go wrong, it will go wrong this weekend. So it was the only bad thing I had to deal with when I got home anyway, was no hot water.
Well, when did it turn on?
Tuesday we got it back on. So yes, that was just yesterday, right? Yeah. Yep. Yesterday morning we got it fixed and got it back fired up. And I was like, thank you. I could take a hot shower. That's all I wanted was a hot shower, because the cold one just ain't cutting it when you just, how it is when you've been sweating like that, and it's like, oh my gosh. So,
all I know is that when I get home, that shower just feels great.
That's the greatest part.
And yeah, we have a camper, but we have limited. It's a small camper, so we don't have a lot of water supply. So we don't get to take luxurious hot showers. We're in there like less than 10 seconds.
Well, we could have just did what Dennis did. He had a smart idea. Just wait out there in his shorts and then soap and got all nice and clean in the creek.
Did he do that?
It started pouring down rain like the last day, and I wanted to clean out my gold with Dennis's little piglet, and I was standing out there, and it's just coming down, and there's thunder, and here comes Dennis taking it back.
Oh no. Oh, did you get
It was
You
great.
didn't get a picture of that by any chance, did you?
No, I was in the
Oh,
rain
my
cleaning
God.
dirt.
Leave it to Dennis. I'm sure that was a sight to behold. Dennis.
Well, we got some interesting videos that we want to put together for the show. It's kind of just from our little team building thing down there.
Yeah.
It was kind of nice.
Yeah.
So we will post one of the results of that we got a lot accomplished, and I think that this was definitely one for the books.
I can't wait to see that one. I'm ready to see that one. Has Shad been working on it?
I'm starting to.
Okay, because I know when Kathleen sees it, if she's cracking up laughing, then I'll know how good it's going to be. That's the key right there.
I felt like a movie director.
That was awesome. And that's why I said we was wanting to get all that done. We got that done. So that was cool. We got a lot accomplished and still got the prospect. So that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Had a great time with you guys though.
Thank you, Rich, too, for driving all the way out.
Yeah, heck yeah.
That was a long haul.
Yep. That's a real long haul.
Not a problem.
For Rich.
Took me about 7.5 hours to get back.
Did it?
Yeah. Well, you left early
yeah.
so you could take your time.
Oh, yeah, and I did. And I kept stopping, too, and that's what helped, know.
Mm-hmm. How was the traffic?
It wasn't actually too bad until I got in Maryland, PA.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it started getting bad,
Really?
backing up a little bit. But
Oh, wow, okay.
other than that, I stopped way more than I did when I went out.
Right.
Because I don't know what it is. Going there, it doesn't seem bad. Coming home, it's always
Well, because
just seems so
you're
long,
tired.
Right, you're tired.
Not to mention, that was your maiden voyage.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah,
So
and
I'm putting something together special for you.
Yeah, you're getting a special video, Rich. Just you.
It's gonna be cute.
Aww. That's
worked out
special.
great.
Man, cool.
Yes, everybody. Rich christened his dredge
Yeah.
and got to, stretch its creek legs out. You know?
Mhm.
Finally. Yeah.
Finally.
Yep. So that was good.
And there is a shot somewhere, and you'll see it in your little video. The look on your face. It was like, aha, yeah.
Oh, really?
Fat
Okay.
kid in the candy store.
That was
So
priceless.
happy.
It was.
Oh, that's cool. I can't wait to see it. You know what? I
Yep.
think that'll be a
Yeah, I
good
just wish I
twist.
would have got a picture of the first golden.
Yeah, right. Yep.
I didn't.
Your first clean out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your first picker
Mhm.
and your first run of the dredge.
That's,
I will have my first picture.
see? Well, that's
Hopefully.
there you go. So your first picker with your first
Yeah.
run of your new dredge. So very cool. Happy for all you guys. Kathleen, you got your news tonight?
I do. It's a little abbreviated, just a little,
Okay.
just because we're having Shannon speak on an important matter, and
Right.
I think that one, that's a hard act to follow, that news. So,
Yeah. Like,
so just bear with me, I guess.
nah, not a problem. It'll be fine, I'm sure. You got this. You always do. And, right, I'm with you, Shannon, what he's going to be talking about. We'll let him get that out there and good to go, right? So, you got some fun facts, too?
I do.
Okay, good.
I do.
Looking forward to those. Hey, Kathleen, thank you again for everything, and thank you for being here as always. And you do a wonderful job. Don't ever doubt.
Thanks.
Okay, awesome. All right. Also joining us, we got our very own Mr. Shad Biffle. What's happening, Shad?
Wow, you finally didn't label me as the other half. Look at that.
No, he's still
I'm my
the
own
He's
person.
still the other half.
I'm my own person now. I'm big boy.
I'll let it slide this time.
All
Tim.
right. Got
Hey,
it.
10 checks in the mail. Thanks, buddy.
What's happening, bud?
Well, not too much, great long weekend. Had a lot of fun with everyone and the turkey too. And, and today I took the camper and got it cleaned out so that way, it's all freshen up. And
Nice.
finally disconnected it because it was still parked on the side of the street, which I'm sure everyone hated.
We didn't even have it in the driveway. We had it on the street.
Oh, no. Oh, that's just bad. But it's all cleaned. And
yeah, I was glad to get it done before the first round of rain came through. So
Nice. So how do you think? Did you do okay this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, we still haven't gone through it. I think this weekend we will. But from like some quick painting out of some of the material, we did good. Got some nice pieces.
Good.
I had a couple. I think I found 2 pickers so far.
Okay.
So.
Oh, good. Way to go, buddy. Like to hear that. And everything was good. Your dredge worked like a charm. How'd you like that air?
Oh, that was fun. Of course, getting more weights. Buddy Ed Marvin, he had a mold and he was getting them done. And he got them done last week, so he shipped them out to me. So I didn't have all the weights I needed, so I did stop and for like $30 get one of those weight vests at Walmart.
Oh, okay.
Which helped. But yeah, I mean, it was fun. Airwork, the regulator I got from Patrick O'Masters was perfect, and
nice.
It was nice. I mean, I didn't realize at times how long I was down there, and I pop up and everyone's been cleaning out, and I'm like, really? It's time already?
Wow.
So it was fun. It was good. I mean, it easy on the back, man.
Oh yeah, right. You just lay in there, just kind of half floating, and just reaching in, right? Very cool.
Yeah, but at one time it almost felt, because I was trying to find the bottom, which I got really close. But it was, by then, the layers, it got really, like, sandy.
Right.
So I was, like, almost looked like I was doing a handstand down there. But I was just trying to reach.
You're just stretching.
It looked like he did a face plant, not a handstand.
I was doing a handstand.
That one picture, yeah.
His legs were flailing at first. He wasn't used to it, and then once he got it right, he seemed to do a lot better.
He just mellowed out and just...
Yeah. I let Kathleen test it out, and of course she had a whole lot of trouble at first.
I'm just not a mouth breather.
Right.
Which is hard to believe.
Right, you need that mask, right?
Yeah, she likes the
like
full
the
face.
mask. Yeah.
But you get a lot of air through just the regulator in the mouth. And honestly, my jaw didn't get tired. Granted, I wasn't down there for like 6 hours stretched running.
Right.
But, yeah.
Yeah, that would be
smart. And I don't think the regulator is bad for, long arming dredging, and then in the creeks here in the Midwest. If I were to go someplace where I was going to be underwater for a lengthy amount of time, I would definitely want a full face mask.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to save up my money.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely do. You got to have it. I think, and also that's what you learned on was the full face mask. And
Yeah, kind of like the dredge, right?
Right. Right.
I used your dredge, and that's it. That's the one.
That's the one. I don't want no other.
Screw the shovel.
I don't want, or the hand dredge.
Yeah, right. It's like, I don't want this stuff no more. I gotta have one of these. So yeah, you gotta have a mask. That's definitely gonna have to happen, and I know it will. You'll have it by next year, and you'll be set, both of you guys, and that'll be cool. You guys will just both be able to face plant together.
Yes. No, but speaking earlier about the cronies, I'm excited for the crony club outing here later at the end of the summer.
Yeah, buddy.
You shared a couple pics of the creek, and I was like, ooh.
Don't that look nice?
Looks nice. Looks really nice.
It does.
Lots of room, big area, big creek.
Yep, it looks nice. It really does. And he's going to get us some more pictures, so I'll send them to you guys as quick as I get them, and then we'll put together a thing and get it on the.
And this is virgin ground, I believe.
I think so. Yes, I believe so.
This is a prospecting mission.
Yeah, this is good.
Oh, there's
Awesome.
good gold in that area.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah, that's
from
exciting, though.
researching.
Yeah, it's right by some of them gold mines and stuff. It's gonna be awesome, I think. So really looking forward to that event. It's going to be great. So we'll get.
You got time to become a crony, so you can get in on it.
Right.
And then once we release the details, it's. I'm sure, like we did last year, have a X amount of people first come,
right? That's what
first
it'll
serve.
be. Yep, that's exactly what it'll be. So,
That's mid-September.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hopefully the stinks will be gone.
Yeah, they should be by then.
Don't worry, we got Michael Myers out there. He'll take care of him with his machete.
Crystal Lake?
And Kathleen, that is virgin ground. So.
Ah, yes.
Yes. So, yay.
And I think when we were talking about it not too long ago, I had said it's in the vicinity of where the Carolina Gold Rush got started. It's actually 3 hours away.
Okay.
So it's close,
It's close.
but not on the spot.
No.
So,
But
still,
a major gold mine is
it's-
right
yeah.
there,
Right
or
there.
was right there
Uh-huh. Yep.
near the area.
And I
So.
think we're gonna we'll do okay. I really do. It's gonna be just another good time, So
yeah, we can hook up with the cronies that weren't able to come to last year's in Ohio. So
Yep.
we'll be on the East Coast and hopefully getting some East Coast cronies, getting to meet them and.
And hopefully we'll work our way out west for next year.
Next year.
Yeah.
Never know.
Yeah, you never know. Right? Exactly. That could work. Out west next year. I like it. Good plan.
And then Australia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Each
Oh,
year,
please give me prospect out here, pretty please.
a different location every year.
We're cronies. We brought our crew with us, man.
We want to prospect here. Yeah, brother. So you got your precious metal prices tonight, Shad?
I did, and I peeked at them earlier today. I was like, ooh, gold was down a little.
Uh-huh.
You can go crazy watching the markets during the day.
Yep.
And I was like, oh no, it's not going to be at 1,300. That stinks. But it did close $1 up from Friday to $1,302. So gold's back up above 1,300.
All right. Way to go.
Good news.
That is good news. Awesome. And
then silver's even up 13 cents to $16.48.
big jump.
Yep. That is a big jump for a little silver.
For a little silver, yeah, it is.
Yeah. Platinum's up $2 to 908.
Mm-hmm.
And that palladium's just climbing away again at up $6 to 979.
Nice. Very cool. I like it. Now, what about birthdays? You think old Dennis is ready to sing a little bit?
Yeah, I am.
You ready? You ready, Dennis?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, take
I
it
need to hear enthusiasm in your
Yeah.
voice this time.
Yep, take it away.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
I think he is getting better
He
every
is.
time.
He's put,
Was that better?
that was.
That was
I-
a lot better.
that was-
I am
really
seeing
good.
an improvement this one.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, I like the way he...
Bravo. Bravo.
Yes, definitely.
American Idol, here you go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, today, May 30th birthdays, we have Dave Florek, Deanna, Gold Pay Dirt Reviews, Janet, Rich Bond, Sandy Watson, Tindrum Gold, Sea Slug, Steve Bundy, Tim King, and William Hansen. And don't forget Bruce Wise, Chad, Dan Brown, and John Bjork tomorrow.
Oh, happy birthday. Appreciate it. And I want to thank you for being here as always, Shad.
You got it.
All right. And last but not least, our little buddy, the Indiana gold hunter himself, Mr. Dennis Dayton. What's happening, Dennis?
Nothing. Nothing at all. Just relaxed. I mean, had a great weekend.
Mm-hmm. Sure did.
I couldn't tell you. Man, I tell you what, I bet I gained 20 pounds. Rich cooking, Kathleen cooking, all the pork we had there, all the bacon and sausage and eggs. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Dennis, I raved on your cheeseburger, my friend. That was delicious.
And that bacon.
Nom, 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 nom.
Yeah, I told my wife that was probably one of the best cheeseburgers I ever ate, and it was plain. But you did a good job, Dennis. Thank you.
Well, a lot of people don't realize that I actually can cook.
It
so.
was delicious, and I thank you, my friend. Way to go! So you had a good time. You put on a couple pounds. And actually, you got a chair too, didn't you?
I tell you what, man, I found while I was there a chair, a classifier. I just can't believe people would actually leave stuff behind like that. I bet you from now on, going forward, I bet nobody forgets anything.
I bet they don't hear. That was a really nice chair, though. You know, it really was.
Oh, man, it was so comfortable. You know, after being in the water and I was scalded, I got in that chair and got relaxed, you know, kind of wrapped myself up in a towel.
Yeah.
Oh, it was comfortable.
I wonder whose chair that was.
I don't know, but I'd like to get it back to the original owner.
I know. I'm sure you would. So
Maybe you need to just share that picture around a lot more so we can find the owner.
Yeah. Have you seen this chair?
Yeah.
Whose is it?
Maybe we can figure out who owns it and get it back to him, Dennis. What do you think?
Oh yeah. But I tell you what, I got a couple things really cool. I mean, I had an awesome clean out.
Oh, good.
Oh my gosh, I first pan that I was, because you know I can pan. I don't like to. I like doing it. You know, running it through my little clean up, you know, machine that I have with the Dream Mat.
Yeah.
And then usually I like to run it on my Martin water table, but I was just, you know, for video purposes only, trying to pan it, and there was so much of it. And man, you talk about a bunch of chunkies now.
Oh.
That was loaded.
Nice. Way to go.
Oh yeah.
Congrats.
And when I got home, which was really cool, and I didn't realize this, and Shad, I'll have to get with you. And Rich, I don't know, maybe they make it for yours, but you can get the jet flare and the hose and everything that fits your box. A 2.5 inch.
Mm-hmm.
I ordered mine Tuesday. I've been watching the tracking. It's supposed to be here tomorrow. Now, I didn't order the nozzle because I'm just going to use the Martin nozzle that I have.
Right. Might as well. You know.
Yeah. I didn't need to spend another $100 on a nozzle because I already had one. But I've got it all ordered, and it's supposed to be here according to the tracking. It's going to be here by the end of the day tomorrow.
Oh, very cool.
So now it's real simple. All I got to do is just change it out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the I guess that's called the jet flare, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Just change it out. I can go from a 2.5 to a 3 in a matter of 10 minutes.
Oh, very cool.
I mean, a 3 to a 2.5.
Or 3 to 2.5, and you know I don't have to have two separate dredges. I just get, you know, I just carry the extra ones in case, you know, you ever go to a place that, you know, has size limits or anything. You can always just swap it out, no problem.
Wouldn't that be something? A portable dredge could take anywhere where they allow different sizes.
Yeah.
That would be something cool.
Yeah.
Like a transformer dredge.
Yes, a transformer dredge.
But I tell you what, though, I noticed, Shad, you guys kind of sunburnt on your face, didn't you?
No. I got a little sun, but it went away.
Man, it got me. I was even in the shade. It was really windy because my ears were burning all weekend.
Yeah, mine were too.
And it's still burning a little
got
bit.
me.
Still burning a little bit now, but not as bad as it was over the weekend. And I was even in the shade.
Right.
It was just real windy.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I was lucky, too. I was in the shade most of the time, but, yeah, I know the back of my neck and my ears did get a little burned, so.
My back is hurting, like right in the middle. It feels like...
Almost like you got stabbed or something, right?
Almost like someone put a knife in it and just twirled it around. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it was windy, though.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
See, that's why I had air, so, hopefully my back wouldn't hurt too much, but you never know.
I think I would have enjoyed the air.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been better. Yeah, definitely.
Easier on the back, yeah.
But I'm glad you had a good time too, Dennis.
Oh yeah, man! I tell you what, I'm excited now. You know what I mean? Because
of course.
I always thought you had to have, especially on different size dredges, that you had to. I was like, man, I have no place to put all these dredges, but you can actually just get them, and they make, like I said, they make the jet flare. And I don't know, Rich, they might make them for yours. I think they might make a jet flare. I can find out.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you can.
I don't think so. Mine's an older style.
Oh.
Mine's an older style box.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dennis,
An
just
older
work
style
more
box.
overtime and just buy multiple dredge sizes and go at it, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, worst case scenario though, just all you have to do is just get the box jet flare hose. That way you don't have to reorder the whole entire dredge. I mean, you still got the same dredge, just a different, you don't have to log 3 or 4 dredges around.
Right.
Yeah, but you got to worry about running a 2.5 inch into a freaking 16-inch wide, 40-inch long box.
Well, that's what I said. If you have
Water
to
pressure.
get a shorter box, yeah. Well, yeah, you're right. You probably want the smaller box anyway.
Build a prototype.
It's a lot to think about.
Yeah,
so.
it definitely is. A lot to think about. A lot of things to make you go, for sure. Right?
Things that make you go,
But yeah, it seemed like you definitely had a good time. I know what I seen, you was having fun, Dennis, and I enjoyed that. And, your usual.
Well,
antics.
it was probably. I think it was a little bit further. I mean, like I said, though, I know you wanted to have the meeting and a lot of stuff that we had to discuss, and we're lucky to get together once a year, all of us,
right?
Together, and it was well worth it. It was a stress-free environment. And
you ain't kidding.
And it's not that where I was going to go. It's not that I didn't want to mingle with anybody else. It's just some of the topics that we talked about and that we did. You don't want to be rude to people and.
No, that's what I meant. That's why I suggested that we go there, because that way we could just get this stuff figured out and not.
We had time to talk about it and think about it, and
right.
And it's going to be good for the crony members. And, there's a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline we're not going to talk about.
Right.
But there's a lot of good things in the works right now.
Yes, there is.
Huge things.
Yes, huge things, and that's the thing. And
huge.
So that's why I say I really appreciate you coming, Dennis, and changing your plans. I know you had plans, and just like everybody else did.
And especially for the premium patrons. So
yeah,
hint, hint.
Mm-hmm.
So
hint, hint. Yeah, lots to come. Lots and lots to come.
Lots and lots to come.
Yeah, heck yeah, brother. But and like I said, I want to thank you for my stickers, and Shad, I want to thank you for my stickers, and Dennis, the stickers you gave me, and the CD from our friends Stealth Diggers. I want a big thank you to them for that little token and wristband and all those goodies that they sent along for you to give to us. And
did you?
What's that?
Like I said, how did you guys like my makeshift tent?
I love
the
your
hobo
hut. Yeah.
The hobo tent, yeah.
The only thing that was missing was some newspapers.
And some railroad tracks.
We were going to put a trail of cracker crumbs for the turkey to follow to go inside.
Well, just so everybody knows, so I can paint a picture, I have that like a 10x10 canopy. But the top of it isn't waterproof, so to speak, like what Rich has above his Coleman tent.
Right.
And it's a cloth. So, I knew they were talking about rain coming and stuff, so I've got tarps, and I put, of course, a tarp over the top, and then I took 4 more tarps, and I bought those really nice clamps at Harbor Freight, not the cheap old plastic ones, the actual metal ones.
Right.
And they were only like, I think, 70 or 80 cents a piece. I bought 20 of them, and I took the other tarps and I kind of tucked it in over the top tarp on each side, that way if it rained, nothing would come inside. Of course, it did rain and nothing come inside. So I stayed dry, and I put note to self, next time, don't take the twin-size mattress as the single mattress that lays almost completely on the ground, especially when you camp on top of an area that, you have mosquitoes and ticks and chiggers, and, I got bites all over me. I should have brought my Queen Air mattress that would have raised me up 2 feet.
Yeah, it maybe had something to put on the ground, and then your mattress on
top.
Well,
I had a tarp underneath it.
Oh,
completely.
okay, I didn't notice that.
Yeah,
okay.
I put a tarp down, and then I opened the canopy up on top of the tarp. I was surrounded, pinned down by tarps.
Oh, you had Tarp City, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
You had a setup. It definitely took some imagination, but you did it, and it worked. And
it worked perfect.
It worked perfectly. So.
Well, I mean, I didn't use the truck to pull my little utility trailer.
Right.
That I have. I just got my new little toy, that little Ford, and everyone knows I'm not a big Ford man, so here I am talking about I've got a little Ford Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
But man, that thing drives so good. It'll be 6, 5-speed.
Easy on gas. Yeah. Oh, Dennis.
Oh my, yeah. It only took $30 to fill it up.
Hey, Dennis.
And I didn't even burn through a half a tank.
Let me pause you right there because Shannon's calling. Okay.
All right, get him on.
And I'll get you back in here afterwards, real quick. All right, here we go, everybody. Shannon Poe. Let's get him in here. Hello, Shannon. How you doing tonight?
Hey, Tim. How are you?
Hi, Shannon.
Hi, Kathleen.
Hey, sexy.
Hey, Buttercup. Oh, wait, I forgot I wasn't supposed to use that name in public. I was just thinking, because I was listening to Dennis here, and he described the perfect definition of, I think, what they call an oxymoron, and that is he was talking about how he wasn't buying the cheap crap from Harbor Freight.
I know. I didn't want to
the
say
good
nothing.
Stuff from Harbor Freight.
I didn't want to say nothing. You pointed it out.
I haven't actually experienced the good stuff from Harbor Freight yet, but that's just me. So how you guys doing?
Doing good. The big question is,
Great.
how are you doing? Is the big question.
Oh, instead of burning the candle at both ends, like I kind of felt like what we were doing, I just threw it into the fire.
Right.
That's about the way things have been going. We've been going just nonstop since about December, and sadly, this is the downside to doing what we do. I've only got to spend about, I think the last count was 8 days I've got to spend with Lisa in the last 3 months.
Wow.
So, yeah, it makes it kind of tough. And then we've got our trip to Alaska that is making Shad and Kathleen very, very jealous. In 8 days, we leave to go dredge. Yeah, so it'll be cool. We're really looking forward to that. But we got a lot of things to talk about that I'm sure you guys would be interested to hear.
Yes.
So ask whatever questions you want.
Well, just break it down to us. This new dredge thing. Is dredging going to be legal again?
Yes, I do believe that it will. And so I'll kind of give you a breakdown on what happened. As you know, Brandon Reinhardt's case, it got to the Supreme Court, but because of an Obama holdover who wrote a letter out of the Department of Justice, wrote a letter to the Supreme Court telling them not to take the case, had a lot of impact. And so the Supreme Court didn't take Brandon's case, and we had put a lot of hopes in that. So we started working with a senator last winter on a new bill, because the bill that Senator Ben Allen passed in 2016 was so vague. It said any mechanized piece of equipment or motorized piece of equipment was considered a suction dredge. So we introduced a bill And it clarified that a suction dredge is a suction dredge, kind of like saying an airplane is an airplane and, a skateboard is not an airplane. Right. And that's kind of the way that it went, is that it was so vague that, things like a track wheelchair that a disabled war veteran would use to aid him in getting down to the river was considered a suction dredge. He could be cited, fined, and have his wheelchair confiscated.
Right.
A generator in the desert was a suction dredge. And so, anyway, it really, and we had a lot of people at the state capitol when we testified in front of the Senate committees, and it scared the hell out of them. Mm-hmm. Little did they know is that we had been working with the Water Board for over 2 years on a draft permit program that was mandated by this bill that this Hollywood senator had passed. And I think what happened, Tim, is that a lot of these guys in California, especially politicians, think everybody thinks like them. They think everybody is a liberal, and if you don't think like them, you're an idiot. Mm-hmm. And they really believed that the California Water Board, every single person that worked there, would toe their political, ideological, line, and that wasn't what happened. And so the Water Board actually looked at all of the data that Western Mining Alliance had provided to them, and on suction dredge studies, and they went, well, wait a minute, this doesn't hurt anything. So they had a unanimous board vote, and these are 5 people on the board of directors, all appointed by Governor Jerry Brown. Mm-hmm. They all voted unanimously that it's de minimis, meaning that it doesn't harm anything. So with that being done, and that happened last spring, and that was when I told you I had some things I couldn't tell you about. Yep. That was what it was.
Oh, okay.
We knew that they voted that it was de minimis, and we were getting ready to go public with that last September. Mm-hmm. And then when the Oroville Dam busted open during the flood, the then director of the California Water Board, he just really screwed that whole thing up, and so they got rid of him, and then Governor Brown appointed a new director of the Water Board who was an Obama former EPA attorney. Okay. So she was heading up the new Water Board in California, and so she went, wait a minute, what is all this section dredge stuff? We can't have this. So she put a hold on everything. Well, the problem is the law that they passed, it was mandated in there that they had 1 year to either study, create, and either deny permits or create a permitting program. Mm-hmm. It's 2.5 years down the road. Oh. So it's not a question if they violated their own state laws and federal law, because it's become a prohibition. And that's what I testified to, and it scared the hell out of them. It put the Water Board on notice. We started putting all kinds of pressure on the Water Board, and they came out and they have publicly admitted in front of 2 California sitting senators that it will be permitted next year. And it's basically what we helped draft with the Water Board. And so, yeah, I believe we're going to have permits next year.
Sweet. That's a home run right there, I'm telling you.
We damn near broke the internet. We've had a couple of posts that we've done over the last 6 years that have gone pretty viral, but this by far is number one. It went nuts. And good golly, my email, phone, everything blew up for, well, it still is now. But yeah, so it's good news. It's something that needed to be done. And the primary argument is, and I get this about, some people, we've talked about federal preemption, where the states can't create a law that actually conflicts with federal law, and they call that federal preemption. Mm-hmm. But you look at it all across the country, and I'll give you a couple of examples, and I'll spell it out clearly so even Shad can understand.
Okay.
I got my crayons ready. I ate 2 already. Sorry about that.
It's kind of it's like the sanctuary city laws that they've got now, is that absolutely butts up against and conflicts with federal law. And the same thing is with the marijuana laws. It's a federal crime, allegedly, to smoke marijuana,
right,
or possess it. But you have states like California, Colorado, Washington, like that they just ignore federal law. So that's really where the states have a right to reasonable regulation, and that's what the 2 words really go together. There is reasonable regulation. that's where the legal argument, if it was ever to be challenged, would be, is do they have a right to actually shut something down? Well, no, but they probably do have the right to enact a permitting structure, because you look at Idaho, Washington, Oregon, and now California will have a state permit. And so, you know, I don't want to argue the merits of a legal challenge on that, but, you know, the simple fact remains is that, good golly, I haven't been able to legally dredge in California since 2009. And next year, we're going to be able to do that.
Right.
It's going to be virtually impossible for them to back out of this now. If they do, we will sue them.
Sure.
That's just
exciting.
a given.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's
So-
nobody minds getting a permit. You know, if that's what it takes, they'll get a permit. And
Well,
you're back
yeah,
in
I agree with
water.
you. As long as it's a reasonable
Right,
cost.
sure, yes, as long as it's reasonable, like the other states, like you said, to where people can afford it, can get it, and can dredge legally again. That's all we want, you know.
Yeah.
And that's just one permit that you have to get. Isn't that, Shannon? You won't have to get a permit to go here and then one to go here. It'd just be one permit,
No,
right?
you're right. It's a one permit for the state, Dennis, and so you know, the whole thing, the way that we recommended that they draft this whole program was treat it like an ag permit, you know, for agriculture, because they pump water out of creeks and stuff like that in ditches, etc. So you'll be able to get one permit, and you'll be able to dredge all of the open waters in California. You know, there's certain places and certain times you're not going to be able to dredge, like when the salmon are spawning, you know, up on the Klamath, and there's, you know, eggs and fry and stuff like that. We never could dredge during that season, nor should we.
Right.
So, you know, there's going to be certain restrictions like that, but and there's still some unanswered questions, but for the most part, it's pretty good. I mean, I think it's the best of all worlds. And then eventually, if we can change this at the federal level, then all of this would go away anyway. But for right now, what it does is it gives people immediate relief, and they can go out and, you know, and start dredging again.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny. I talked to, as you guys know, Jeff at Proline is, you know, one of my best friends, and he knew that we were going to go live with it. And anyway, he started getting phone calls the next day, people placing orders for dredges.
Oh, wow.
I haven't checked eBay if a bunch of listings and dredges in California have been pulled off now.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, you know, it was kind of funny, and the claim values are going back up again. And so there's a lot of benefit just to the announcement that we made. You know, it's kind of unfortunate. We saw an article that the Mining Journal had put out. They thought that we may have gone a little bit too soon with the announcement over this, but and it was kind of sad. I called Scott Harn, who I know him really quite well. He's actually a friend of mine who owns the ICMJ, and I, you know, just told him I guess I was mistaken, Scott, that I would have figured you would have known that Izzy Martin with Sierra Fund, the radical environmental group, sponsored the original bill that Ben Allen produced, and she was a part of all these meetings, so she knew all about it. And the environmental groups knew that this was coming. So when we went live, it was really to clean up all the misinformation. People were posting crap like it was going to cost $2,000 for a permit, and you know, all this just, I don't even know where half this stuff comes from. But so we felt it was right to come out and talk about this, and you know, and start letting people know that, hey, you know, this is going to change next year. So I've got a meeting slated next week with the Department of Fish and Wildlife head here in California. I'm going to try to convince these people that, you know what, hey, this is all going to be legalized next year. Why don't you, you know, call off your dogs and let people go run high bankers and stuff now? But you know, we'll see how that discussion goes along, and then right after that meeting, I head to Alaska. So we may or may not have some more information next week. We don't know yet.
So, are you getting excited for your trip, Shannon?
Dude, you have no idea. I haven't had a vacation.
I got a question about that, Shannon. I saw you guys arranged a nice little van for the trip, so it's obviously a road trip. Now, where are you putting Jimbo at? Because I know you don't want him trapped in a van with you guys for that long.
You know, the funny thing is, I was going to talk about Jimbo tonight, too. You know, I went down and I helped him, gave him a week of my time, which I did not have,
That was awesome.
to help him get his house ready for his family. And I love the guy like a brother.
Yeah.
But Jimmy, he is a unique individual, you know, and he is such a soft-spoken smartass is really what he is. We have our own little private chat group on Facebook, just the 12 guys that are actually going up there. And he's been throwing out some crap at me, and so we have some very, very special things planned for Mr. Hamilton.
I
Very
can't wait
special.
to hear about it.
I'm taking every single camera that AMRA and I own up there, including the drone. And there's some very elaborate things that we have planned. We just got to make sure that either we empty his gun of bullets or we take it away from him.
Good plan.
What part of Alaska are you going to, Shannon?
What's that?
What part of Alaska are you going to?
We're going on the 40-mile river, Dennis. It's up out of Chicken. It's right along the border of the Yukon. And so we're actually going to be pretty close to where Toney Beats is at. I mean, probably within 80 miles or something of Toney and Parker. But, yeah, it's on a river called the 40 Mile. It's a pretty good-sized body of water, about 150 feet across in a lot of spots.
Wow.
But it's pretty shallow, and it's only about 3 to 4 feet to bedrock.
Okay.
And the cool thing is that, you know, because we've planned this out for several months in advance, it was kind of ironic. I got to tell you this story because it's just like a weird, freaky story. But I do have a friend that lives in Idaho. He's 74 now, and he used to dredge this very river back in the 80s. And back when he was, you know, young and he was in his 40s. And they went up there and they were dredging with an 8-inch dredge on the 40 Mile, and they would go pull about 12 or 13 ounces of gold in a day, and then they would go to Chicken, and they would just get drunk and, you know, find women and do that until they ran out of gold, and then they'd go back to camp and dredge for a couple of days, get enough money, and they ended up doing that off and on for 2 years. And so, but that's exactly the area where we are going. Not just the area, but the same exact spot.
Oh, cool.
And so I got detailed maps from him of where he dredged in the 80s, and it was an ounce an hour kind of ground.
Oh, man.
Let that sink in for a minute. An ounce an hour ground with an 8. And we're running a 10, an 8, and 3 6s.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
And we're going to dredge for 14
I'm
days, guys.
Headed to Alaska, too.
Man, 14 days.
So get this. So we had the big gold show down in Vegas, which, by the way, I met Emily Rydell, and we got to spend some time with her. As a matter of fact, we're sending her an AMRA Carhartt jacket with her name embroidered on it. Sean's already wearing one, and so is his dad. But anyway, so I'm walking around in the casino, and I'm kind of looking for Pat Keene, and I'm wearing a Keene shirt. Anyway, so I kind of got bored, and I couldn't find Pat, and so I sat down at a 3-card poker table, and there was 2 guys to my left and some other guy to my right, and these 2 guys to my left are complaining about the warm beer that the waitress is bringing them. And anyway, he looks at my shirt, and he's like, "Hey, man, what do you mine?" And I said, "Yeah, you know, I'm a gold miner." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, we dredge." And I'm like, "Oh, no kidding. Are you here for the gold show?" And they went, What gold show? And I went, "Well, this is the largest gold show in the country, is here in this motel." And they went, "Shit, we had no idea. We're from Minnesota. We were just 2 guys about 3 days ago, decided to head to Vegas and get drunk for 3 days."
Wow.
So I talked to these guys, and they're dredgers, and I said, "Yeah, you know, I can't wait. I'm heading to Alaska." And they're like, "Really? Where are you going?" So I told them the 40 Mile out of Chicken, and they're like, "Hell, we just sold off all of our claims and everything up there." And I went, "No kidding." We got to talking. These guys were the owners of this dredge camp 4 years ago where we are going.
No kidding.
And I'm not kidding you. And it was just kind of a coincidence that I, you know, happened to sit down at a poker table in Vegas and meet them. So they came to the show the next day, and they gave me very, very detailed maps of all the claims and exactly where to go that has ounce an hour kind of ground.
That's almost like a sign right there or something. I mean, that's just too freakishly weird that something like that would happen. Man, what are the odds?
Yeah, and the funny thing is too is they loved AMRA so much when they came to the show the next day that both of the guys joined us, and they're like, we don't even really ever going to get to California, but we're going to join you because we like what you do. So it was really cool. And so anyway, we have high expectations, but you know, on the low end of the spectrum, if we can break even with what it costs us to go up there, we'll be pretty happy. But I don't see that being a problem.
Right,
to
I
be
don't
honest
either.
with you.
No, I don't either. It sounds like heaven. It's a place to be. And I see why Shad and Kathleen are jealous. You know, man, I wish I was going too. Wish we was all going.
Well, you know,
I won't.
A 10-inch, a 10, an 8, and a 6. That's obviously about 2 or 3 times bigger than anything Shad can handle. But I know Kathleen, you know, she jumped right on the 10 or something. But
Man.
Shad's more into the long arming a 2 or something like that, you know.
Oh, now Dennis, you was trying to say something to Shannon.
Hey, I was going to say, Shannon, I won't be. I'm headed to Alaska in 2 weeks. I'm going with Caleb Bennington. He's out of Kansas, and we're going up to Razor's place there in Juneau. We're probably not going to be on the type of gold you're going, but we're going to be in Alaska for 8 days, and we're going to be on the beaches and then somewhere else. And he's just finishing up his new dredge. I don't know if you've ever seen Razor dredge, but man, that thing is massive.
See?
No, I haven't. Sounds like fun, man. Sounds like you're going to have a great time.
Yeah.
Everybody
I'm
going
ready.
to Alaska.
I'm pumped.
All you guys going to Alaska, leaving us 4 here. Yeah.
Well, you know, it's kind of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, although next year, if we do good this year, next year we're going to probably be going back, but it may be a little bit different type of scenario, and I can't go into details, but
Gotcha.
It would be something that, you know, we may actually call you guys and say, you know what, if you want to get your butts up there, we got a spot for you, kind of thing. And that I'm just going to leave it at that.
These shows are recorded,
Leave it at that.
and we've got it on.
I've made a timestamp.
You said
Well, I'll give you an
at the
idea
end.
of cost, because I'm sure a lot of people are wondering at home here, listening to this, going, well, good golly, what does it cost to go up there? To go up for 2 weeks at a dredge camp like this is about $4,000 per person.
Okay.
And you have to pay for the airfare, which for us, flying out of San Francisco, is about $500 to fly to Fairbanks. They pick you up in vans, and then they haul you to Chicken, which is about 6 hours away. Then you take jet boats and down to the dredge camp, and then they feed you for 2 weeks. They supply all your gear, everything else. You really don't spend any more money after you get there.
Right.
And that's pretty much it. So for $4,500, you can go for 2 weeks, and you know, you can run some pretty big dredges. Obviously, we're a little bit more experienced than most when it comes to larger dredges, so it's not anything that we haven't done before.
Right.
Although there's a couple of the guys, there's 12 of us going, and I think that there's only maybe 3 or 4 of them that haven't run in something, you know, bigger than a 6. Everybody else has, so it'll be interesting. But yeah, we'll have to see.
We can't wait to
Is
see.
that price per person? What if you're like a couple?
Yes.
It's per person?
Per person.
Per person.
Yeah.
That's 2 weeks.
Darn. What if you said you're not going to eat anything?
No, I said they feed you everything, and you know they cook and they provide you lunch and all that kind of stuff. The one thing that we actually have decided that we just can't live without is when we get to Fairbanks, we're heading over to Fred Meyer, which is kind of like a Walmart. It's a little better than Walmart. But we're going to buy a Keurig when we're up there because we just can't have crappy coffee.
Oh my gosh.
You Californians.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
City
So we're
folk.
taking, I've got my dry suit that I'm taking. I'm also taking a wetsuit. We've got heaters that we made for all the dredges. So if anybody books and goes up to Gold Fever prospecting in the future, We've actually built hot water heaters for every one of their dredges and had them shipped up there over a month ago.
Oh, cool.
They're already installed, so
Nice.
it was just one of the things that we kind of did for Matt and Ginger, who bought the place, and they're a young couple out of California here, really nice people, and we wanted to help them out. We've made them blaster nozzles. We call them Lima blasters because one of our buddies, Joe Lima, makes them, and Kathleen, I think you actually ran one of those. I can't remember if we had that when you were up there or not. It's a high-powered pressure sprayer is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, so, yeah, it's going to be fun. I think on the low end of the spectrum, we're probably looking at 40 to 50 ounces, and on the high end would be well over 100 in the 2 weeks that we're there.
That's amazing.
So there's going to be, and we also got Mike Pung. Thanks to Mike, I really appreciate him doing this. He donated a 4-stack cube system with the new nugget trap on it to Matt and Ginger, and we delivered that to them. So that's sitting up there waiting for us, ready to go. So we're going to film every single night of our cleanups, because we'll take the concentrates off of all 5 dredges, bring them into camp, and then we've got 2 guys specifically who are going to do nothing but cleanups, and they're going to be kind of the Jack Hoffmans of our group, and do
I'm
cleanups.
glad you got
But
a job for Jimbo.
We're going to film all of this in 4K, so it's going to be some pretty epic video.
Oh, I can't wait to see the video. That's going to be great, And
what we're going to do, guys, is and for those people listening, if they want to see some pretty epic cleanups in about 2 weeks, we're going to go ahead and take the video. We'll download that onto my laptop out in the middle of nowhere running on a generator, and then I'm going to edit some short videos, and we're going to uplink those through the satellite internet up there onto our Facebook page.
Okay.
So we're going to show cleanups of ounces and ounces and ounces on the cube, hopefully every single night.
We'll be watching.
So it's going to be pretty epic.
We will be watching for sure. We'll be looking forward to seeing it, and knowing you guys are having a good time up there. That's the great thing. You need it. It'd be a good break for you, Shannon. You've been busy and getting a lot accomplished, and I think this will be good for you. Get out there and just have some fun. Get you a lot of gold.
There is another thing too, Tim, and that is, you and I have talked about the taser incident with the Forest Service here in California for 3 years now.
Yeah.
And, we filed a federal lawsuit against them last year, and we ended up bringing forward 9 witnesses that were willing to testify during this, if it ever went to trial.
Right.
That they were randomly stopped and searched, and we even found another guy that had a taser pulled on him by these same 3 LEOs. And so when we brought all of that information forward about 3 weeks ago, the Forest Service called our attorney and said, is there a way we can sit down with Shannon and talk about how we can make this unfortunate circumstance go away?
Really?
So, so we're in settlement negotiations right now, and while I'm not at liberty to talk about what the amount of money is, we're going to, once this case is settled, we are going to file a lawsuit against the Forest Service in Idaho, and they know it's coming. And I hope that this woman's shaking in her little boots, because the things that they have done up there is just fundamentally illegal, and somebody needs to go to jail.
There you go.
And we're gonna go after them. So she's right at the very top of our list. So that'll be something that when we come back. But when we get back from Alaska, I'll be home for a couple of weeks, probably 3 weeks, and then we do actually go to Idaho, and we're going to dredge in opposition to the Forest Service, saying that you need all these special permits from them, which are just fundamentally not true, and the EPA, which we've done for several years. So that's kind of what we've got on our agenda right now, and a few outings and whatnot. But we have a big dinner. Another big dinner this weekend, as a matter of fact. It's in 4 days down in Southern California.
And
so as a matter of fact, I'm editing the video for that dinner right now.
Oh, another one of them good videos?
It is. It's the funny one that I can't publish for everybody to see because of the music in it, but when I was in Arizona 2 weeks ago, we did shoot a new episode of Words of Wisdom with Jimbo.
Did you?
Yes, and he is a remarkably talented, smart-ass man when it comes to what we had Senator Ben Allen from Hollywood call in. He has some problems, and he wanted some advice from Jim, and so Jim gives him some very good advice.
Now, where can people see that video?
No, I can't.
Darn.
I can't go public with it because the music is copyrighted. So I can play it at the dinner, but I can't put it out on YouTube. It would be wildly popular if I did.
Darn.
But it's also a little bit risque, if you will. It's an adult video, if you know what I mean.
Yes, definitely know what you.
Well, we put a female Sasquatch costume on with a thong. Okay.
Now, where did you get a thong that would fit a female Sasquatch?
Jimbo.
They're actually available, believe it or not.
Who went and bought this thong that would fit a female?
I don't even want to go down that road because that's probably quite possibly the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened in my entire life.
I would think so.
Imagine walking in and buying a thong the size of a car cover.
Yeah, it's like, who drew that short straw? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you look at the
oh, no,
cashier and
ma'am,
say
I'm
it's
only
gonna be a
buying
fun
this as a
night?
joke. Sure you are.
That's just wrong.
I know. It's terrible.
Rotten. Shannon.
So what the heck have you guys been up to?
Kathleen?
Working. Dredging. You
Dredging.
know,
Yeah?
just dredging every chance I get.
Mm-hmm.
Well, right on. Are you finding anything?
Oh, yeah, we are. And, you know, we'll have to take this offline.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Let's
good
just say
stuff
that.
going on.
we got some things to share with you, Shannon. When we can.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, just working. Work. Like always. Same with Dennis, right, Dan? And Rich?
Yeah, I tell you, the last video I just uploaded, I had a pretty darn good clean out. I had a lot of gold in my pan.
See, so we're getting some gold, Shannon. Not no 50 ounces,
Yeah.
but...
Yeah, not what you're getting, but
Yeah.
where we're at, it's pretty good.
It's considered
Well,
good,
we
yes.
haven't got, Dennis, we didn't get 50 ounces, but we did do a cleanup Monday and got 21.9 grams.
Ooh, man, that's
Ooh,
sweet.
nice.
That's awesome cleanup.
That was,
That's
of course,
still
we were
good.
just cleaning out a crack, panning, because that's all that's legal in California, you know.
Right, of course. And that's awesome, though. 21 grams.
Mhm.
Ooh, way to go, Shannon. Happy
Yeah.
for you. That's awesome.
Well,
So-
good. I'm glad you guys are out getting some gold.
Yeah.
You know, and I apologize, I haven't called in lately, and
That's all
I
right.
really haven't kept in touch that much. We have been actually pretty busy,
Yeah,
but
we know.
we finally raised a new AMRA building. AMRA pitched in, and we bought a steel building. I think I mentioned that to you guys before. We finally completed that, and it's gorgeous.
Awesome.
But we've managed to actually get all of AMRA's stuff out of my garage, all of our AMRA staff's garage. It emptied out the little cabin. It emptied out my shop. And so I got everything back.
That's cool.
So that's pretty cool.
That
It
is
was
awesome
awful
news.
nice of them to actually do that, and it made my wife happy.
I
So
bet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's great news. Got that done. So, yeah, you've been busy. And that dinner this weekend, that's the one at the Plains of Fame Museum? That's that dinner, right?
it is, yeah. It's at the Plains of Fame. We talked Kevin Hoagland into coming down. He's going to MC it for us, and it's kind of cool is that our own Stacy, I know you guys know Stacy, she's
Yeah.
a phenomenal lady.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, she I set her up with Jeff at Proline 3-4 years ago. They just got married last month.
Oh, congratulations.
Oh my gosh, that's
Very
awesome.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, so pretty
Little
damn cool. But
matchmaker, you.
Stacy broke
Look
her
at
foot.
you.
Stacy broke her foot today, so I don't think she's going to be going down to Chino this weekend. But anyway, no, Stacy found us. This is the new thing that we're doing when we travel, is instead of booking everybody motel rooms and stuff, she does this Airbnb thing, and she found us like a two 6 or 7 bedroom homes down there right outside of Chino. Saved us $1,000, and so we're all basically staying in 2 houses right
cool.
down there.
That's better yet.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's the way to do it.
Cool, man. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot more fun like that. You're all together and you can hang out and have a lot of fun like that. That's awesome. And
I know Jim is going to try to
expenses are minimal.
Hamilton will try to come into my room. I know that. So I'm going to get the only room with a
Just keep him out of your bathroom is the advice I can give you.
You don't have a CPAP, do you?
No.
Hey, Shannon.
As a matter of fact, when we're in Alaska, everybody stays in these 2-person cabin, little of canvas cabins. I'm going to be on the far end of the campground, away from him and Tom Mitchell, because those guys, seriously, they're like Fred Flintstone. They stuck the curtains in when they snore, and I don't even think earplugs work.
Shannon?
What's that, Dennis?
You remember when you put us up in that cabin when we came up there with Shad and Kathleen, me, and
I remember walking in with you in your underwear, sitting at the kitchen table and nothing else. I very vividly remember that.
I'm going to give you a little story. I probably shouldn't say it, but I'm going to. Don't ever sleep in the same room with Jimbo. We both have to wear CPAPs. So we're getting ready to go to sleep. My CPAP's on. His CPAP's on. And, man, he just ripped one. And you try to talk, and the air's coming out your mouth, and I was like, really? And he said, it doesn't stink. 10 seconds later, it went through my CPAP, right up my nose. I couldn't get away from it. It was terrible.
You could taste
I could actually taste it.
Oh, good God.
That's funnier every time.
Yeah, he has some rare talents, I guess, if you want to call it that. I don't know what. I don't know where he finds the dead, rotted possum carcasses that he actually consumes for breakfast. And then I think he chases it down with Sprite to get all the bubbles, so he gets more gas. I don't know how that works.
Oh my God!
I've never experienced anything like that before.
Oh, that's hilarious. You guys are rotten. That's a good story, Dennis. Thanks for sharing that one. Oh, God. Well, Shannon, you're not bunking with him, so you're all right. You'll be fine.
No,
you're fine.
I'm not.
Man.
No, but we do have some pretty good things. I'll film it, and this probably will be something that we post on the internet. So when we get done with Mr. Hamilton, everybody will get to enjoy that as much as we do up there.
Oh, please, yeah, we definitely want to see that. I mean, share as much as you possibly can, Shannon. This, we'll be living.
It's going to be a blast. I need to get away.
You do. That's why I said
badly.
You deserve it. Enjoy.
Yeah.
That's the key. Don't try not to think too much about all the other problems, and just think about you for 2 weeks and have some fun, man. It's long overdue. It'll all be here when you get back, so no worries. Yeah, well, we got a pretty good crew. Connie's going to field all the calls and emails. She has no idea what she's in for yet, but I know. Oh, golly. Yeah. But no, it'll be a blast, and we'll actually be broadcasting live, I think, until we drive out of Fairbanks, and then, like I say, we're going to try to kick up a video every night to Facebook. So everybody can go out to American Mining Rights on Facebook, and they can follow us on there. Yep. If they're not already following, make sure you do. And Shannon, thank you, brother, as always, for everything you do, for coming on. And if you want, when you get back, if you feel like talking about it, give us a call. Let us know how the trip went. We'd love to hear about it, for sure. And well, we were actually hoping to be able to call in while we were up there, Tim, but over the last month we've tested all of that, and there's just it's not going to happen. Okay. Gotcha. But we will. I'll reach out to you guys when I get back, and we'll send you some pictures you guys can throw up on your website of some of the cleanouts, and we'll talk about this trip and all the stories and the fun times and all that kind of stuff. So. Heck yeah. Yeah, cool. We want to hear about it. All right, guys. Well, hey, I got to finish this video and then head out in a day to SoCal. So
Thanks again, man. It was a pleasure being on, and thanks for having me.
It's an honor having you as always, Shannon.
Thanks for coming on, Shannon.
Heck yeah,
Thanks,
buddy.
Shannon.
Talk to you later, buddy.
No worries, Dennis. Hey, buddy, have a good time up in Alaska, and Shad, I'll send you those pictures as soon as we get done taking them, okay? Oh, wait,
All
that
right.
was
buddy.
my
You
out
too.
loud voice again, too. All right, guys, I'm going to go eat my wife's tacos. I'll talk to you
brother.
later.
Bye, Shannon.
Good night.
Thanks, buddy.
Bye, Shannon.
All right, guys.
All right, good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, and on that note, let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back, everybody.
Do you like to mine for gold? Enjoy prospecting a nice crack in the bedrock? Enjoy getting outdoors to camp, fish, hunt, and hike on your public lands? You plan your trip, load the gear, grab the dog, put the family in the truck, and drive off to a locked gate. A sign says you cannot enter or access your own public lands. Mining claims and public land owned by we the people are being designated as off limits by our own government every single day. Are you concerned about the direction our government is going? Are you tired of seeing no access, no entry signs on your lands? We are, and we are fighting back. We are AMRA, America Mining Rights Association, the fastest growing small mining advocacy association in America. AMRA is a 501c3 not-for-profit formed by miners, hunters, off-roaders, retired military men and women to stop the insanity. AMRA was formed to educate, unite, and help the small miners and public land users on their rights. Rights given to us by God. Do you want access to great mining claims? For a small tax-deductible donation to their Miners Legal Fund, your family gains access to proven excellent mining claims across America for an entire year. AMRA challenges the USFS, BLM, EPA, and the other agencies intent upon stopping you from enjoying your own lands. You are who pays these people's wages. It is time they listen to us. We need to unite. And that is what AMRA is doing. As you sit here right now, thousands of acres of public lands are being closed, locked, and blocked from use by you. Are you fed up yet? Join us. Get in on this fight and let's restore America to what our families fought and died for. Freedom. Just visit AmericanMiningRights.com. AmericanMiningRights.com. Also, check us out on Facebook at American Mining Rights Association. AmericanMiningRights.com.
All right, everybody, we're back. Kathleen, do you think you got time for the news?
Well, it is getting kind of late.
You want to just save it for next Wednesday, or?
It won't be news by then.
Right.
But what I'll do is just do a short and sweet version.
Tonight?
I'm not going to do the global news.
Okay.
But I will do a local story, and then Shad's got.
Okay.
We've got a
Roll
local
with it.
event of interest.
All right, hold on a second. We got to have your intro.
Oh, yeah.
It is time for Dredging Up the News with Kathleen Biffle. Mining news from around the globe, metal detecting, dredging, entertainment news, and fun facts as well. Here's Kathleen.
All right. May 30th, 2018. We're going to stick locally here.
All right.
So I'll start off with this story, this has been popping up in the news, and this is just basically an update. On the 26th, the gold exploration proposal, the one that was north of Yellowstone National Park, well, they suffered a significant setback with the court ruling released that it faulted Montana officials for understating mining's potential harm to land, water, and wildlife. The ruling from a state district judge means that the Montana Department of Environmental Quality would have to conduct a lengthy, it's getting late, environmental review before this mining company can proceed. And the name of the mine is Lucky Minerals. It's a Canadian company.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, I had announced it. Last year they got the approval to do exploration work at 23 locations in Immigrant Gulch, which is a forest in south central Montana's Paradise Valley.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that they've been getting a lot of pushback from environmental groups. They just want to make sure that they just feel that the study wasn't lengthy enough. So that's the update.
Okay, well, cool. Well, you're keeping us updated on it. We appreciate it. Very good.
And then in Nevada, Paramount Gold announced this week their results from an independent pre-feasibility study for its Grassy Mountain Gold project. They estimate an after-tax internal rate of return of 28%. So they just released that study this week. The study also revealed that this project has indicated resources containing 1.06 million ounces of gold plus 3.3 million ounces of silver.
Wow, that's a lot.
And they will now work towards acquiring their permits to get it started by 2021.
Cool. Yep, that's a lot of gold and a lot of silver. Ooh-ah.
Yep. And so that's all that the news is, but Shad does have some events of interest.
Alrighty, take it away.
All right. Well, of course, as Shannon said, you have the Southern Cal AMRA dinner. If you didn't get your tickets, too bad, you're out of luck. You had until May 27th. So, but don't worry. Of course, they have the Northern California dinner that's also coming up in December. So put that on your radar there if you want to attend that. Of course, some East Coast events real quick. There's the Buckeye Chapter Invitational Fossick on June 9th and 10th at the Swank Claim in Butler, Ohio. So it'll be a lot of fun, and most of the crew, I think we're going to be there to support them and mingle with the other prospectors and metal detectorists. So it should be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Also, Indiana Gold Fest coming up. You can contact Thomas Folks to get more information, but that's coming to you June 15th through the 17th in Kirkland, Indiana.
And that's on some new property.
Yeah.
Sounds like a fun event.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good, but if you have any questions, contact him. He did post all the details on the events section at the bottom of the homepage. Also, of course, Southern Oregon Golden Treasure Show, June 9th and 10th. We keep reminding you about, so if you're in the area, check them out at the Douglas County Fairgrounds. And the new one that we have is in Elko, Nevada. It runs June 4th through the 8th. Miners from all over the world will gather in northeastern Nevada to network, learn about the latest industry trends, and celebrate another great year in Nevada mining. This is called the 2018 Elko Mining Exhibit. What's pretty cool about this, for over the past 33 years, the Elko Convention and Visitors Authority has hosted the annual Elko Mining Expo. It's one of the oldest and most respected mining expos held in the United States and draws over 8,000 people nationally and even internationally. There'll be plenty of vendors there that exhibit, from 2017 that they tend to keep coming back year over year, so tons of vendors to meet. And it's open to the public, so it'd be a cool one to check out if you live in northeastern Nevada or can make your way up there.
Yeah, that's cool.
So there you have it.
That's the event.
That's your events.
Good job, Shad. Thank you.
Back to you, Kathleen.
Thank you. I was waiting for that.
I know. I was enjoying
You're not reading
moment.
the teleprompter.
Wait. Pause for smile.
And then back to Kathleen. And then
they turn over to Kathleen. Back to you, Kathleen.
Okay, so I'm going to do a fun fact, and it's brief.
Okay.
It's more like a rambling.
That'll work.
But no, it's kind of interesting. And don't we have some big news to announce after this?
Yeah.
So I will make it short and sweet. So just some food for thought, right? There are few other assets on this planet that have such a long history of value, durability, and marketability as gold. And we all know that. Gold clearly holds its value over time, whether over decades or millennia. So much so you can say that gold makes monsters out of men. So, with that being said, there are so many movies, books, dramas, that have, that underlying, thread woven through about the different things that gold does to man. And I've even talked about different cons, which there's so many more. And I think I will do another fun fact blurb on that one, because that one was interesting.
It was.
But anywho, we know that the gold rush era was marked by lawlessness, duels, murders, things like that. But during the gold rush, boom towns, which were basically the mining towns in California, they started appearing in the 1850s. Vigilantes started taking justice into their own hands, because these towns did not have any established forms of honest or consistent government.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a big thing that, happened to people, what gold can do. But anyway, some interesting facts in this era, about crimes, different crimes that has happened. This is actually in Australia. Besides, the obvious factors of greed and power, there are others that cause such lawlessness and mayhem from gold. The lack of a police force, like they don't have anything to, uphold the law because of the remoteness of the gold fields. And this was in Alaska.
Right.
The mining country back then was full of secluded hollows, speckled with hundreds and thousands of ready-made graves.
Holy
kind of almost like our Wild West was.
Uh-huh.
Another factor, the density and restlessness of the population, of course, would cause people just to be bored, and go off and do these things. Another factor, and I never knew this, but I heard the term, and I think it was a U2 song, like when I was a teenager, Van de Man's Land. And this was kind of interesting because that was actually the former name given to the Australian state known as Tasmania.
Oh, really?
This is where they sent British convicts. They sent them there for committing crimes.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were forced to live, in dirty jail cells there, and it was really pretty rough. And in fact, I guess there's the thing is there ghost stories, how like we like paranormal things with the ghost towns, but that one's an interesting one. But anyway, they called them Vandemonians. And these were the term that given to these criminals, and a lot of the lawlessness was caused by these individuals in the Australia gold rushes and things like that. So I just thought that was cool.
It is
and then
cool.
another, yeah,
it's cool.
yeah. And then on that note, I read this, so this was kind of a cool fun fact. This term came out of this era. We've heard the term claim jumping, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
but and this kind of ties in with the faucet too, I guess. But night fossicking, I didn't know what that really meant. So it's basically someone who slept or did nothing during the day, and then they would go at night to these claims known to be rich, and they would steal by candlelight.
Really?
So it was a very common practice back then. So that's something interesting to think about when we go to the faucet.
Yes, it is.
No night fossicking for you.
Well, you guys are going to do a night hunt,
You will be
so
night
maybe
fossicking.
that's pretty cool.
That's right. That will be nice.
That's all I had. It was just a bunch of
Very
interesting
cool.
little things.
No, it was cool. I know having Shannon come on, it cut into the news tonight, but
I figured as much, so it was just like I didn't do like an extended fun fact or anything like that.
It still was awesome as always. So
Yep.
no worries.
Yep. Still was good.
Yep, sure was. Very good. Now, real quick before we go, I want to mention all the giveaways. First, we got the GPS giveaway going on for the Gold Ram from Spike Strike Sluice Boxes, or sluices.com, my bad. Then we got the Crony Club giveaway going on. I'm tired too. Still, we got that going on. And let's see. Then we got our quarterly nugget giveaways for the cronies and our patrons coming up. I think that's next month, both of them, actually.
And then?
And the crony club giveaway, the
And then?
quarterly nugget giveaway is being sponsored by our good friends at Turdog, and the patrons giveaway is being sponsored by our good friends at Tommy Knocker's Pay Dirt. And then we got the winner of the Dress My Dredge.
Yes,
contest.
that's tonight.
Yeah.
Yes, the long-awaited winner. And after hours of deliberation, going through the millions and millions of entries, we have a name, and the winner is, we don't have a drum roll, Rodney Kaiser. Congratulations, Rodney.
Oh, there you go. That's better.
Perfect.
The dogs are nuts.
So congratulations, Rodney. I will get that together for you and get her shipped out. I'll be contacting you, getting your mailing address and all that good stuff. And we want to thank you for participating in this little giveaway we had, and everybody else that participated. It was a lot of fun.
Yep.
We had fun doing ours. I know that. So we hope they had fun.
I didn't win?
No, you didn't. Rodney did. You missed it.
Rodney did a nice paint job on his, and
painted the trailer to match. Yeah,
things painted on there. So he took the time and did all that. So congrats.
But thank you to everyone who did participate, and hope more joins in future contests.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because he's gonna get a nice bag of dirt with some nice gold in it. So have fun.
There's
Gold.
Yep.
And there's some really little stuff as well that's kind of challenging. So
make sure you get it all, but we want to know
Yeah.
how much total it is you get of gold.
Yes, we do. So
Pay it up.
please post some pictures and all that jazz when you're done, and have fun with it. That's the main thing. And I think that's everything. I'm tired. I can't think straight.
Yeah, it's late.
Yeah, just wore out. And I want to thank you guys again for being here tonight, our crew. I want to thank our listeners for being here and hanging out with us again, as always. And don't forget to join us Sunday night when our guest will be Chris Chadwick from East Coast Prospecting. He's going to be stopping by and hanging out with us for a bit, so you want to tune in for that show. It's going to be great for sure. And until Sunday, I guess we're out of here, guys. I can't think of nothing else, so...
That's it.
See you Sunday.
Is that everything?
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Be sure to tune in next Sunday at 7:30 for another great show. For updates and more info, please go to www.prospectorsradio.com.